All right, let's get going. First, I would just like to say welcome. Thanks so much for joining us to kick off this month of conversations. Um, I think that this is really going to be an important and generative month of the Radical Exchange community folks getting to know each other a little bit better, um, talking to each other a little bit more deeply, and hopefully striking up a lot of interesting collaborations and having a lot of interesting conversations about essentially what we can do with our various talents as technologists or artists or policymakers or activists or whatever we may be, to work together and essentially help make democracy more functional, more generative, more recording in progress. Essentially, to work together to help make democracy more more what we want it to be. Thanks for being here. I also want to give a very, very deep thanks to everyone involved with the Radical Exchange team who's worked super, super hard to put this together and help make this happen. I'm really, really grateful for everyone's effort here. So with that, I would like to I'll kick it off, but then I'll hand it to Paula, and then I would like to open it up to everyone to basically say a little bit about our intentions, about what we hope to get out of these conversations, this series of conversations and events that are coming up. So I already touched on it, but for me, what I hope to do is basically meet other people and start working with them more deeply. And when I say meet other people, I mean meet people who are who see the world differently from how I see it, whose thinking comes from a different place than mine does, and enhances mine, and with whom I can, meaningfully interact and collaborate potentially for many years to come on this, on what is really a lifetime's work of making democracy better, rethinking what it can be and what it should be and what it is. And I'm really hoping to speak to you all more and have some of that happen. So with that, I will hand it to Paula, Radical Exchange Foundation's COO. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt. And hi, everyone. So if you were watching RxC TV, we just had this conversation that was live streamed there with where I talked to some folks from Code for Korea and Code for Japan and GovZero. And one of the key themes of that conversation was about the need to have a social fabric that goes along with the process of creating civic technology. And I'm really excited for the conference this year because with this open space unconference format, this will be like a globally scaled hack night where we can all come together, meet, discuss, explore, and hopefully build new collaborations. So yeah, this is my intention for the next 3 weeks, to be meeting people from all over the world who are working on similar teams, who are taking a proactive stance on addressing issues, and having the courage to do that, and to listen and to dive deep into the challenges to really understand them, and to also have fun in just being able to be in a space with other people who are also engaged in a similar effort. Yeah, so that's my intention for the next 3 weeks, and I can't wait to get started. And with that, we'll open the floor for anyone who would like to state their intentions. We would love to hear about what are your hopes for the RxC conference.
I'll say something. These are really exciting times. You know, in one way, it's just this disaster thing, and then there's this excitement in the air. And I remember I was like at some meditation thing, and some guru was talking about how you chose to be incarnated at this time, and you wouldn't miss it for anything. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a perspective, you know, okay. But it really does feel like that. Like there's this tremendous excitement, and you know, whatever stage you are at life and wherever you are in the world, on the one hand, there is this kind of fracturing of something, but at the same time, there's a renewal and a rebirth. And you know, that story and that mythology is sort of as old as mankind itself. And so there is an excitement, and I really feel both with Radical Exchange and a lot of the other organizations, there's just this momentum, and there's a lot of amazing people, like you said, to meet. So that's exciting. I'm really excited for the new format from last year's Radical Exchange conference and the one before, or whatever. I think it was the one of them, but you guys bring together the most amazing people, and this idea of decentralizing that and democratizing that is fantastic. Like, okay, who's going to speak next, and who are you going to go to, and that becomes the decision of the group. So that's really exciting as well. And you've brought the experts in on that. So, you know, I'm quite familiar with the experts in the room on open space. So really, really great. My intention is to infect people with ideas and get infected with new ideas. So that just seems like this is the place to do that, is to get infected with new ideas. So that's my intention.
Whoever wants to go next can just jump in.
I'm happy to go next. This is a very important network for me. The Radical Exchange is how I kind of embarked in this journey of doing things differently and pursuing the unknown. And through that, I met Kalia and then Heidi, and that was how I discovered open space and the power of that, and the power of something that's well facilitated. And so it's really a privilege to be able to circle back after having been away from this community for nearly 2 years, or a year and something, from the very beginning, and to bring that social fabric, that to be a part of building the social fabric that goes along with the social technology that Paula mentioned. And so it feels really, really special. And to have Grace also, with whom I've had the privilege to kind of be infected by some ideas and really be excited to be further infected and to meet more of the people who've been changed by this community. So that's my intention, is to really be a part of building a strong social fabric for Radical Exchange.
I'll go. Angela Corpus here from the RxC team. I am really looking forward to, after a year, 2 years now, going into our junior year of COVID, just being able to see people gather together. We are social animals, and I think that collaborating and being able to participate in creating tools to make these what seem impossible to solve, issues, I think working together and being in the same room together, even if it's a Zoom room or whatnot, from Taipei to the online Kiko chat space to our in-person event in Denver, as Grace mentioned, a lot of people are going to get infected with, ideas, and we're going to be able to collaborate. And I think a lot of interesting things will come out as a result. So I'm looking forward to that.
So as I'm coming to the Radical Exchange Conference, I am aware that we are in the midst of a planetary shift, and we don't know where does it go. It can go in down or up, a breakdown or breakthrough. And so it's a very tense moment, tense in a positive sense, because it's whatever will happen, it's up to us, not only us on the screen, and not even us, only the Radical Exchange Foundation and the chapters, but there are, fortunately, there are literally hundreds of social change movements where lots of people are engaged for reimagining health, education, finance, governance, what have you. And so my focus in all that comes from that professionally, I'm a radical sociologist. Radical sociologist in the same sense as Glenville is a political economist. So my specific research is enlivening large-scale emergence. And what I mean by that is finding ways to cross-fertilize social change movements to increase their collective impact. And so I start with the hackathon, which is about bringing, as you said, the civic technology and the social fabric. So I'm focusing on how DAOs and various new technologies for coordination, governance, decision-making, how that can be best used for powering up the ecosystem of the social movement. So I'm coming to this event basically to meet with old and new friends and discover where we might be able to support each other's work. How can we discover potential for synergy based on the commonality of our vision and the complementary differences in our talents and skills. So I'm very grateful to the foundation for organizing this. This will be my first time, and I'm looking forward very much to be used, basically, to have my talents be used by whoever, whichever project can make use of it. I've been around since the 1960s as a movement organizer of the student movement, and so I picked up some skills and talents in this area, and would love to be able to share it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Right.
I think this community is really amazing, and I'm just from the people who've spoken already, feel super inspired about our choice to use open space technology. And I think I hadn't thought about it, but this framing of building social fabric, like I've hosted a community using open space for 16 years. And there's a very strong social fabric that community has. So we're starting building that, building on existing communities and connections and relationships in RxC and strengthening those and going farther. So I'm looking forward to that.
I know I already spoke, but I just wanted to say something about social fabric on the tail of what Kalia said. I don't go to a lot of IIWs, but I go to occasional ones. And one of the ones I went to, it was about a year and a half ago, I think. You know, I always have this thing like community and social fabric, and we talk about online community, and it's kind of like, yeah, but whose couch are you going to sleep on when you're down and out? But I went to this one IIW, and one of the guys who was a member of the community had been in a motorcycle accident. And the community had supported him and his wife. And it's just like this group of people who are a bunch of technology people, and they talk about like in this weird, if you've ever been to IIW, you cannot understand anything they're saying. They have this weird language of, you know, VC and DID, and you're like, what? And ZKP, and you're like, oh, what? But it's just so human. It was so human, and you really got this sense like this is a community. These are people who sleep on each other's couch, and you can rebuild social fabric over these technology discussions, and whether it's coffee in between or whether it's online. And I just really want to acknowledge Kalia and Heidi and, you know, and the group of people who, Philip and those people who put that together. It really is something extraordinary to see social fabric being built among people who on the surface just have some professional interests in common. So it really is possible.
Thank you so much. Unless anyone else would like to share, I think we'll move on quickly.
I think Bess.
Oh, sorry. Yes, please.
Yeah, hi, this is Grace and Joey from Taipei, Taiwan, and we are GovZero teams. So, well, yeah, we are very happy to be here to share the GovZero's some examples from GovZero. So, and also from Asia. So we are very happy to be here to share our experience, and we hope that I think our experience for like over the past years is very important. So yeah, we hope that our collaboration with you could like encourage more people to take action together. So yeah, thank you for inviting us to join this conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Bess. We are in deep gratitude to be collaborating with all of you, and we have so much to learn and so excited to exchange with you all.
Yeah, I second that. We're super grateful to be collaborating with you and looking forward to learning more together. All right, so I thought the next thing we'll do real quick, just to continue the sort of tone setting for the month, is Paula and I have picked a couple quick readings, like a quote or poem, which we will share. If anybody else has anything like that off the top of their head and would like to go after us, I think that would be great. And then we'll move to a quick sort of orientation of Kiko, so that you can see what the conference platform looks like, get a sense of how to move around and interact during the whole month. Really, Kiko will be open this entire time, even though the sort of focused open space event, online open space event, will be on December 10th. And then we can, open it up and continue the conversation. So, Paula, would you like to go first, or shall I?
I can go first.
Okay.
So the quote I selected, unsurprisingly, comes from Audrey. And this is something that she said in the Radical Exchange Conference last year. She was in a conversation with Yuval Harari, and they were discussing what should be the narratives for the future. And Yuval first said that human beings are story creating, narrative creating animals, and that these stories are not, even though they are not true, they are fiction, they can be very useful, but we need to remember that they're fiction, because if the whole point of creating stories is to alleviate human suffering, and that we need to keep that in mind. And whenever a story is causing human suffering, we need to remember that it's just a story and understand that we can change it. So what Audrey replied, which I thought was really powerful, was that the title of the session was "To hack or to not be to hack or to be hacked." And she said that this question of to hack or to be hacked, it's not an individual question, but it's a societal one. And that in the same way that we can look at the Gini index, we should look at the story weaver and code weaver index. And that this is measured by how much people who are closest to the suffering are able to co-create the codes and norms of how we live. So I thought that was really powerful, and my hope for the future and for the work that we do at Radical Exchange is to improve the code weaver and story weaver index.
Super, thanks. So what I'd like to read is also sort of obliquely inspired by Audrey, because Audrey is a big Leonard Cohen fan, and if there's anyone who can compete with Audrey in their Leonard Cohen fandom, it's me. I love Leonard Cohen, so I'm going to read a verse from a Leonard Cohen song called Democracy. And it's a little bit, the lyrics are sort of US centric, but don't worry about that. It's just a beautiful sentiment about democracy in general. So here's the verse. I'm sentimental, if you know what I mean. I love the country, but I can't stand the scene. And I'm neither left nor right. I'm just staying home tonight, getting lost in that hopeless little screen. But I'm stubborn as those garbage bags that time cannot decay. I'm junk, but I'm still holding up this little wild bouquet. Democracy is coming to the USA. I just love it. Yeah, there's just so much. There's so much in there, as there is in a bunch of what Leonard Cohen wrote.
Matthew, can you share it with us in the chat notes?
Yes. All right, I dropped those lyrics in the chat. So why don't I share my screen and show you quickly what Kiko looks like. Okay, so first, once you get to you'll start in the on the conference page, which looks like this, and to get into the actual space of the conference, you need to click Participate Now. So you'll look for that Participate Now button, and get into here. Here you can see the people who are in the main hall, which is where we are. As you the different sort of spaces that are listed along the left are constitute like the different rooms where different things will be going on. So if you click into a different room, then you'll get a different sort of upper left blue button, which will allow you to join the chat that is going on in that room. if you're lost and you don't know where to go, there will be someone from the Radical Exchange team during the entirety of the December 10th conference. At least there will be someone from the Radical Exchange team in the main hall who can help you get oriented. Another key resource is the schedule of events, which if you're in the main hall, so if you click into the main hall, that's where the schedule of events is. And you see the button along the top here. And this schedule will be updated throughout the month and throughout the December 10th online conference day, as attendees add more sessions, and they'll be listed here, so you'll be able to look at what's going on and then go to the place where it's going on by navigating on the left and join the conversation. You should also, also sort of strongly recommend to take a moment to put any information you'd like to put into your profile. So if you go back to the homepage, there's this button, Add Manage Profile. If you click that, you can add information about yourself so that people sort of have a little bit of context about who you are, and so that you can allow people to find you, basically. So in order to find other people, again, in the main hall, there's a Find Participants button. You can click that, browse other people's profiles, and connect to them that way. Okay. I will stop sharing the screen now. And with that, I think that it would be, I actually have to go, but I think it would be great if everyone else, we can all sort of migrate from here to the virtual lobby. So looking in Kiko, scrolling down the left here, there's a virtual lobby button. You click there, you can see that there's a virtual space where you can interact. It's a good place to sort of mill about and find people outside the context of